Good evening. I'm TV9's Edie Fawcett. You are about to embark on a tour of some of the most interesting towns in eastern Iowa. Every summer, TV9 adopts a few of these communities and calls them Our Town. This year, we've traveled to Postville, Monona, Sumner, Grinnell, Farley, and Epworth. Join me now as we take a closer look at each of these towns. We begin in Our Town's Postville and Monona, which lie in the heart of northeast Iowa. Our town Monona, known as the Garden City of Iowa, is home to about 1,500 people. The northern Clayton County town is just down the road on Highway 18 from our town Postville. Postville calls itself hometown to the world. Immigrants from 29 different countries have made their homes in Postville. This rapidly growing town of almost 2,300 is split between Allamakee and Clayton counties. Postville Mayor John Hyman says every storefront in downtown Postville is now filled. The city is in the process of changing its downtown streetlights to new, more efficient fixtures. And the city is extending water and sewer lines to new housing developments and a new 30-acre industrial site. The goal is to stay ahead of the growing population.
When I became mayor, it was kind of a sleepy, small community. I didn't expect the mayor's job to be just really too dynamic, anything like that. And all of a sudden, we are now faced with growth.
Community members also raised $112,000 for a new child care learning center that's currently under construction. Postville is one of the best-known cities in northeast Iowa. In recent years, it's received national attention for its diverse population. A population that includes dozens of nationalities, and with it comes many different cultures and religions. It's quite a mix for a small town that's rooted in old-fashioned ways. But TV9's Joe Coffey explains how that mix has become Postville's strength.
Postville's only shoe repair store has adapted to survive, kind of like the town itself. Any kind of shoe is welcome here.
I had a pair of sandals come in from Africa a couple weeks ago.
Two packing plants employ many immigrants. One of them is a kosher plant run by Orthodox Lubavitch Jews, Jews who obey strict dietary and social laws.
We don't have any, let's invite them over for dinner, or let's take them for a ride out in the country. We just don't do that.
Near lifelong resident Stan Schrader says the old-timers and the Jews get along well now after some adjusting. It just took a while to understand the Jews keep to themselves because their religion says they have to.
As the years go on, it's easier to get along.
Shalomis Jankelowitz runs a kosher market and restaurant.
A lot of people they're scared first to come in here, they don't know what it's all about, but once they come in here, they come back.
This is the first church.
There was another time when Postville was doing some adjusting. The proof is in old Postville newspapers.
Way back in the 1870s and 1880s, the Germans moved up from the south here and bought all the farms. And the editor at that time says, holy cow, the Germans are going to own America after a while.
Some might be uncomfortable seeing Spanish, Russian, and Hebrew in their own hometown. This writing actually says a lot.
It kind of makes you wonder what our ancestors went through when they came to the United States, because in a way we're all foreigners. Yeah.
Postville's German families are more American than German these days. Don't expect the Postville of tomorrow to follow the same trend.
I don't like the term melting pot because that assumes that you become immersed in something brand new and you totally lose your own culture. Maybe a salad bowl is a better explanation of it.
Fittingly, the Salad Bowl, known as Postville, Iowa, hosts an annual ethnic food festival. It's called the Taste of Postville. This year it takes place on August 25th. Our town Monona has its own celebration called German Fest on October 4th, 5th, and 6th. Postville Community Schools will begin construction on a $2.5 million expansion project later this summer. The school's old gymnasium will be torn down and rebuilt as a community recreation center. A new Fine Arts and Civic Center will be built on to the back of the high school building. The center will offer a state-of-the-art auditorium for small conventions and special performances. And a geothermal heating and cooling system will be installed in the elementary building. These projects will benefit more than students. The facilities will be open to all of Postville.
The unique thing about this this district, which we're excited about, is that we have people from all over the world living here. Many of them are former artists, musicians, things of that nature from all over the world that are now living in our community. Now we actually have a venue that they can show their talents, not only just for the schools, but for the community in of itself.
The citizens of Postville suggested all of these construction plans. They showed their support by passing a bond referendum for the projects in December. The people of our town, Monona, have spent the last 5 years building and planning many new projects. Mayor Patrick Malanafi told us about all the big plans in Garden City.
We just recently completed the community center as well as the new city hall that's right behind us here. And that was largely due to private donations. And outside of that, we've redone the old fire station. And as you can see coming into town, there's the new butterfly trail, which took an old waterway and ravine with weeds and that, and we've cleaned that up quite a lot. There's a walking trail down through there. There's a couple of bridges across the old ravine. Monarch butterflies have stopped in that area forever. One of the newest projects that we're working on right now is the Family Aquatic Center. It'll be a facility in the 5,000, just a little bit over 5,000 square foot area. Our old swimming pool was built in the mid-60s, was designed to last 20 to 30 years. We've gotten 39 years out of it. There was a point here just recently where we just weren't sure if it was going to go for this year, but we managed to put another Band-Aid on it, so we can't wait for the construction process to get underway for the new aquatic center.
Construction should begin this fall on Monona's new aquatic center. Our town, Monona, is working on some other community betterment projects for the future. A feasibility study is in progress for a new industrial park. The site hasn't been chosen yet, but the city hopes to draw businesses that produce value-added ag products. The City Council is planning a new senior housing unit surrounded by single-family homes. And like many towns, Monona is always working on improving its streets. As you travel east on Highway 18 out of Postville and past Monona, keep your eyes peeled for a bright green sign that reads Freilich. This historical site is dedicated to the man who invented the gas-powered tractor, John Freilich. The historical marker, general store, blacksmith shop, and one-room schoolhouse take you back to a time of hard work and dedication.
A lot of museums have a collection of artifacts, but this particular museum not only has a collection of artifacts, it has a story that it tells.
From the story of a successful inventor to the story of a town known as Freilich, the foundation brings history to life. You can hear those stories during the Freilich Foundation's annual Falderall celebration on September 28th and 29th. There's more to come on this Our Town special. We'll head a little southwest to our town, Sumner, when we come back. Welcome back to this Our Town special. Our town, Sumner, calls itself the city with a future. More than 2,100 people live in the Bremer County town. And the kids of Sumner have stayed cool in a new pool this summer. A 1998 local option tax was passed and helped fund this $1.6 million aquatic center that opened last year. But the true push behind the pool was a volunteer group called REACH. And this year, with some Vision Iowa money, they've added landscaping, a parking lot, expanded the bike path, and built a new shelter. Their first season was a winner.
And it was terrific weather-wise. I think it was, we were open probably more days last summer than any other season just because the weather cooperated, and so we had a great year.
The giant slide, zero depth entry, and giant sprinklers, as you can imagine, keep kids happy. Sumner also has a swim team that frequently uses the pool. The local option tax helped pay for a new library, too. Again, the REACH committee got this off the ground. Now Sumner residents, although living in a small town, are connected to the rest of the world. It's all at their fingertips, just down the street.
people come from out of town, out of state, and they walk around, and they really can't believe that a community this small has accomplished this, and it's a wonderful facility.
The library shows that although Sumner's a small town, it's working to grow. Sumner has many successful businesses, and that success story includes family farms. Bremer County ranks 28th out of Iowa's 99 counties in the number of farms. It has 982 of them. The average farm in Bremer County covers about 243 acres, and the number of farming acres totals more than 230,000. There's one Bremer County farmer who's well known in national circles for his work on renewable energy and conservation. Craig Brown tells us about our town Sumner's Jack Hartman.
Well, let's see, I think there's 3 kind of S-shaped terraces on the South 40.
Take a good look at this farmer. Jack Hartman would be too humble to tell you, but in a few years, his work on a national biodiesel board may make him a hero to U.S. soybean farmers. It's because he's been promoting biodiesel, a clean-burning fuel made with soybean oil.
Looks like it's going to be a real boom for agriculture in the next several years.
Because it's a way to use soybeans, a renewable energy source, and burn fuel cleanly, no pollution. Biodiesel is now used in farm machinery, buses, and fleet vehicles.
There's always things that you can do to improve. That's one of the good challenges I think that we see in farming now.
Hartman's efforts won him an award from John Deere, and U.S. Ag Secretary Ann Veneman appointed him to the United Soybean Board.
Then on the downside, there's a grass-based waterway.
Hartman has other environmental ideas. He's installed thousands of feet of terraces on his 1,500-acre farm to stop erosion.
So it really gives you peace of mind at night when you're getting 5 or 6 inches of rain all at once, and we have that to slow down the water.
After graduating from the U of I, Hartman joined his dad on the family farm. He knows it's been a tough business, one that's been discouraging for young people.
But we're actually seeing some young people start out here in this community again, and it's really gratifying to go out and see some people that are 20, 25 years old that are enjoying making a living doing this as well.
From our town, Sumner, Craig Brown, KCRG TV 9 News.
Jack's such a biodiesel supporter, he's been able to persuade the local co-op to carry the fuel. And speaking of successful businesses, here's a close-up on 2 Sumner businesses that make unique products. One that makes fast emergency vehicles and one that makes faster power boats.
Maybe you've seen some of these on the road, racing by to help save a life. These ambulances are made by Lifeline, a business that was recruited here in the mid-'80s by the Sumner Futures Economic Development Board.
It's interesting. We've grown from building 1 truck in 3 months, the first one, to 12 a month now, and it's a challenge.
And Dave Teat just happens to be Sumner's volunteer fire chief. There are 6 other firefighters who, with more than 100 employees, make the Cadillac of emergency vehicles. The customized trucks are sent all over the country.
The interest developed. 1 truck led to 2, 2 led to 3, and on. And some of our original customers are actually running 33 of our product in their fleet.
Louisville is a huge client, even Beverly Hills and Salem, Oregon. And in Iowa, Lifeline is a popular brand. Of course, the Sumner ambulance crew has 2. Cole says the employees are key to sales.
I think it's because of the heart of the people that work here, the work ethic, the idea that people are very proud of what they do and the product they turn out.
It takes workers 35 days to produce one of these. There are no assembly lines, and the trucks are styled by hand. Painting, sometimes pretty fancy, is done in another shop. And across town, something faster. This landlocked town has produced some of the fastest boats on the high seas at Profile Offshore Powerboats. Randy Schultz's business has been featured in industry magazines.
A standard 28-foot cattle run 85 mile an hour, where we do a custom one that we've run them 140 mile an hour.
Schultz is a Sumner native. After graduating, he went off to California and returned to set up shop. First it was hot cars, and then these fast boats.
I think the first year I built 2 boats, and second year I built maybe 6, and then it progressed from there.
The boat business has its pros and cons. The pros, people with expensive tastes, like the fact they're getting something unique from a place that touts good work ethic. The cons? When Randy needs to make adjustments on his custom boats, he has to hook up the trailer and head for the Mississippi. 9/11 also changed business. People were not in the mood to buy the frills. He laid off employees.
When it happened, I think our business stopped. It absolutely just stopped. In 20 years of building boats, I've never seen anything that drastic.
But Randy says things are picking up and the phone is starting to ring again. The internet has helped spread the word. Now, if he can just convince the local banker that a high-performance boat is a little different than financing a combine.
There are quite a few things we can tell you about Sumner's kids. When it comes to sports in our town, Sumner, everyone knows about the boys' golf team. They have been the best in the state for 2 years running. John Campbell met with the team earlier this summer.
Okay, Adam, you're going to be 4 and 4A for Adam. Okay, Josh, we're going to make you 5 and 5A. Well, gentlemen, we're going to have a little fun here today. We've got about 140 yards up there to the 9th green. The guy who can get the ball closest to the pin is going to get this beautiful, and I mean beautiful, TV9 t-shirt. Is that worth it, huh? Oh, yeah. Okay, who's going to win?
And with that enthusiasm, they began blasting away at the 9th green at the Meadowbrook Country Club.
What club are you going to use?
I'm going to hit a 9-9.
All right, big guy.
Yep, I'm the longest on the team.
Yeah.
Before we reveal the closest to the pin results, more on the real reason we are featuring the Sumner golf team. The story starts at Otter Creek Golf Course in Ankeny, site of this year's 1A state golf tournament.
And the 2002 state champion, Sumner.
Later, a caravan into Sumner and a reception at the school.
Well, my guys are really proud, and I'm proud of them as well. And I think the community shows a lot of support and interest, and they displayed that when we came back to town.
Oh, it's pretty exciting, especially 2 years in a row. It's a lot of fun.
The Aces' 295 team score was a state record. They had 3 in the top 8. That includes the state medalist, Josh Kruger.
I just had 2 great days. I couldn't ask for anything better to play, you know. Great conditions. I just played really well. So.
Now, is golf a big deal here in Sumner?
I think it is now.
There's an old term in sports called three-peat.
Yeah, we're pretty confident we can do it again.
Before we get ahead of ourselves, there's still that T-shirt up for grabs.
We're trying to guess who maybe got it. We're not sure yet.
Well, Dave, after all that, only one ball on the green. Let's see who it is over here. About what, 8 feet from the pin?
Yeah, 1A, that'd be Alex.
So he wins the TV9 T-shirt. I want you to give this to him.
He'll get it.
When the piece is on the air.
You bet.
And congratulations on your state championship.
Thank you very much.
Boy state champions from our town, Sumner.
The Aces won that state title by 12 strokes over Mason City Newman. Now that you know a little bit more about our town, Sumner, we'll travel south to our town, Grinnell. We'll introduce you to this bustling community right after this. Welcome back to this Our Town special. Now we're going to explore our town, Grinnell. This Poweshiek County town is home to more than 9,100 people. Known as a good place to grow, Grinnell is just 50 miles northeast of Des Moines. Grinnell historians say their community has a rather famous beginning. They say when New York Tribune editor Horace Greeley spoke his most famous words, he was speaking to the founder of Grinnell.
And the story goes that he told his friend, J.B. Grinnell, "Go west, young man, go west." And so he did, and he got as far as Grinnell eventually, or this location, and founded the town. Now there might be some question as to whether or not Horace Greeley said, "Go west, young man, go west," exclusively to J.B. Grinnell. That may be something that he told many people to do, but nevertheless we claim it.
J.P. Grinnell was not only the founder of Our Town Grinnell, he was also one of its first benefactors in the late 1800s. In more recent history, another generous man has helped Our Town Grinnell. Claude Arns was born and raised in Grinnell. He created the world's #1 playground manufacturing company called Miracle. In 1994, Arns donated $4 million and 50 acres to build a park for the residents of Grinnell. Now the park has grown to 120 acres, including 8 baseball diamonds, 3 soccer fields, 2 playgrounds, a driving range, lighted tennis courts, and a 1.5-mile walking trail. The Arns Family Center provides an indoor swimming pool and a place for the Head Start program. And the Athletic and Recreation Center offers a large gymnasium with 3 basketball courts. The park is a gift maintained by the Arns Foundation and open to the citizens of Grinnell.
I think this is something obviously that will benefit every generation in Grinnell, and I think people truly realize that this makes Grinnell one of the best small towns in America because it's so unique.
The Arns Foundation's motto is to leave it better than you found it. Claude Arns passed away in 2000. As you can imagine, the Arns Family Center has had a tremendous impact on Grinnell. And as TV9's Kent Lee reports, the park has forever changed how the people shoot, swing, and stroll.
This is the premier place to play.
It is just a great asset to the town of Grinnell.
Everything's in one place.
A Grinnell native for 20 years, Sterling Leon loves golf.
I've been playing golf since I probably was in high school.
But before Arns Park was built,
what can I say? I had no place to go.
Grinnell didn't have a driving range, but now?
I usually come out here every morning. You can come out, you can buy a few golf balls, you can practice a little bit. It's a great place. I really enjoy coming out here.
While Sterling takes swings on the driving range, you can usually find Diane and Pete Bokey taking a stroll on the walking trail.
We are so lucky to have a facility like this. We try to walk 4, 5, 6 times a week. It's so nice out here because there's always a breeze. It's great.
Perhaps the best thing about Arns Park is that it brings all of these different sports and activities together. Just think about it. Whether you want to play softball, baseball, golf, tennis, walk, or bike along a trail, or even play on a playground, you can do it all right here at Arns Park.
When I was growing up, there was fields spread out all over Grinnell. Now we have 8 fields in one location where parents can come and watch, different age kids all in one location and not have to pick and choose which kid to go watch and play.
Whatever your sport, at Arns Park,
you go to one facility and you've got it all.
In our town, Grinnell, Kent Lee, KCRG TV9.
Arns Park is a wonderful place to play. Our town, Grinnell, is best known for its college. It was one of the first colleges established in Iowa 156 years ago. Grinnell College serves 1,300 undergraduate students from all 50 states and 40 other countries. A $1 billion endowment supports the school. Its most famous graduate is an inventor named Bob Noyce.
And Bob Noyce is the man. Nobody knows him, but everybody knows what he did. If you have a computer, it has Intel inside on it, and he co-founded Intel Corporation, and he was the co-inventor of the computer chip. And so a lot of people like to refer to him as the man that changed the world.
Grinnell College is in the midst of an expansion project. It's building 4 new residence halls, a welcome center, and connecting all of the campus buildings to one central heating and cooling system. Plans still on the drawing board include a campus center for all student services and renovations to the Science Center. The newest addition to Our Town Grinnell's industrial park is a soybean company called Midwest Harvest. 2 sisters and their husbands created the company in 1999 on this family farm. It manufactures and distributes soybean products like tofu throughout the Midwest. Now the Grinnell company is merging with a California business. The combination will change the company's name from Midwest Harvest to Wildwood Harvest.
And the 2 of us are working together to expand a whole line of soy products to take nationally. And we need a new facility because we're going to be actually involving ourselves in some different products.
The new factory will produce cultured soy milk products like soy yogurt. In downtown Grinnell, you can still get a cup of coffee for 5 cents. It's hard to believe, but at Cunningham's Pharmacy, it's a tradition. The antique soda fountain at the pharmacy is still in prime condition. Cunningham's most famous treat is a Candyland. The dessert mixes vanilla ice cream, marshmallow cream, chocolate syrup, and peanuts. The fountain serves as a lunch counter too. Sandwiches and salads complete the menu. And if it's your birthday, the rule is you have to buy coffee for everybody. But at 5 cents a cup, the bill still isn't too bad. Next door to Cunningham's Pharmacy is a National Historic Landmark. The Sullivan Jewel Box is one of many downtown Grinnell buildings on the Historic Registry. This 1915 bank was designed by the father of Prairie-style architecture, Lewis H. Sullivan. The Jewel Box got its name from this stained glass window above the front door. It's one of 11 stained glass windows in the building. The bank was designed for only 6 employees. Outside, a terracotta cornice featuring dozens of geometric shapes greets visitors. Sullivan's Jewel Box is one of 5 banks he created in Iowa in the early 1900s. Now the building houses Grinnell's Chamber of Commerce. Where do teenagers go to hang out? In our town, Grinnell, they turn to the Galaxy Youth Center. The center opened a year ago with support from the Grinnell Regional Medical Center and Grinnell College. The Galaxy is open to middle and high school students after school and during the summer. Game tables, TVs, computers, and a stereo are at their disposal. Dance nights draw the largest crowds.
I hope that the Galaxy just survives and thrives and gets a lot of different kids in. I mean, we're looking to sort of diversify the groups of kids who are coming in now and make it a place where everybody feels comfortable coming and, you know, doing their thing and hanging out with their friends.
As the second season begins, staff members hope to raise money to update the computer lab and an arts corner and an alternative library. When we come back, we'll continue our travels further north in our towns Farley and Epworth. Welcome back to this Our Town special. Now we turn to 2 northeast Iowa towns, Farley and Epworth. These Dubuque County communities lie along Highway 20. More than 1,300 people live in our town Farley, calling themselves the heart of the Corn Belt. Our town Epworth is just about 5 miles down the road. Known as the Gateway to Opportunity, Epworth is home to more than 1,400 people. The Epworth Gateway is one of the first structures you see when you come to town. This brick and limestone gateway was built in 1999 and 2000. Each piece represents a significant part of Epworth's history. The bricks remind residents of our town's first successful business, a brick factory. The limestone bases represent the limestone hills surrounding Epworth. And the cupola was once on top of the first seminary building at Divine Word College. Funds from a Prairie Meadows grant, private donations, and some tax dollars built the structure. The surrounding gardens are maintained by Epworth residents and the Epworth Garden Club. Our town Epworth began as one of the only Methodist communities in northeast Iowa. A brick factory and seminary were some of the first successful businesses. Now Epworth is known for its dedication to education. The Divine Word College and Western Dubuque School District are based here. And Mayor Phil Silker says Epworth is continuing to grow.
Epworth is predominantly a bedroom community. We've experienced growth, which is kind of unusual in Iowa. Most of the small towns in Iowa are getting smaller, but Epworth has gone from probably about 440 homes to 500 homes within the last 3 years. So,
there are 11 homes under construction in our town Epworth this summer. One of the most visual institutions in our town Epworth is the Divine Word College. The school's sign and row of international flags are landmarks along Highway 20. The Divine Word College prepares future Catholic priests and brothers for service in one of 2 religious orders, the Society of the Divine Word and Divine Word Missionaries. 80 students from the United States and 11 different countries attend the college, including students from Vietnam, China, Philippines, Indonesia, Japan, and France. Only 2 majors are offered, philosophy, and cross-cultural studies. The college hopes to share its cultural diversity with the community.
We think we have a lot of resources to share as a faith community trying to live cross-culturally, knowing the opportunities and the challenges of people from many different cultures and countries coming together to live harmoniously.
The college hopes to increase its enrollment to 100 students over the next couple of school years. Divine Word hosts many cultural events, including the annual Mission Sunday and Lunar New Year celebrations. Down the road along Highway 20, our town Farley is working hard to improve its city park. People of all ages spend time playing at the Farley City Park. Now they can enjoy some new additions. Thanks to some donations, the park has a new sign, gazebo, shelter house, playground equipment, and tennis courts. The Western Dubuque Schools baseball team and Farley's adult leagues use the new regulation-size ball diamond. Thousands of dollars worth of improvements were made to the ballpark over the last few years, including a new grass infield, backstop, grandstand, and dugouts.
Somebody told me one time, if you want to judge the character of a city, you go to their ballpark. You know, if they have a dinky little ballpark and a dinky little softball field, then they're not really looking towards the future and improving their city and things. So this is what we want people to come in and think of Farley as.
The ballpark improvements totaled only $250,000 thanks to many in-kind donations. In the future, the city plans to add 3 more covered sheltered houses to the park. Just south of our town is the Farley Speedway. The dirt track was just annexed into city limits this summer. 20 nights a year, you can see stock cars race around this track. The Speedway was built 33 years ago and still has a strong following.
Well, we double the population of the town about every night, and people have to come from somewhere to be a Farley race fan, really. The town really isn't that big. In order to make it successful, we have to depend on the surrounding communities, and it brings a lot of business into the town.
The Farley Speedway will soon be home to the Palace Ballroom. Track owners hope this 850-seat multi-purpose facility will draw business all year round. The ballroom will be big enough for wedding receptions, flea markets, swap meets, car shows, and much more. Construction should be complete in September. And be sure to mark your calendar for the biggest event at the Farley Speedway. The 25th Annual Yankee Dirt Track Classic is September 11th through the 14th. Race time is 7 o'clock each night. On the northwest side of Farley, a quiet business prides itself on quality, not quantity. The Simons Fire Equipment and Repair Company builds fire trucks. Since 1980, Jim Simon and his staff have built pumpers, tankers, quick attacks, hazmat, and rescue vehicles for fire departments all over the nation. The company averages 10 trucks a year. They say it takes about 120 days to build one of the fire trucks. Our towns Farley and Epworth share a school district, the Western Dubuque School District. Western Dubuque football coach Tom Kilberg has dedicated his life to coaching, and it all paid off last fall with his first state championship. Scott Sable has his story.
It'd be really special to me to win it for him. I love that guy. He's there for me as a coach and a guardian and mentor, and helps me through life and teaches me lessons. I'd love to win it for Coach Kilberg.
They all wanted to win it for Coach. After 35 years of coaching, 20th head football coach at Western Dubuque, Tom Kilberg, had never won a state football championship. But that all changed last fall with a 12-9 win over Harlan for the 3A state title, the school's first state football championship.
I've been coaching a long time, and this is one of the greatest feelings I've ever had right now. Like, unbelievable. Somebody pinched me, but I think we're the state champs.
Did you think that you would ever win a state championship?
Well, that's always your goal, but no, really you don't until you see it happening right before you, and it was a great feeling. But I'll wait the 30 years to do it again.
It was quite an off-season for Coach Kilberg. Before the championship game, he promised to kiss me if his team won a state title. So I showed up dressed as Santa Claus at a school Christmas assembly, which turned out to be 12 kisses for the 12 days of Christmas. Well, they say success breeds success, and the Western Dubuque football players hit the weight room hard this summer so they can defend their title this fall.
We got 12 people that have started, or players that have started sometime during the year last year. In fact, we got more coming back this coming fall than we did last year, you know, as far as starters.
I think we're good enough talent-wise to do anything we need to.
When you've been around as long as Coach Kilberg, the R word comes up a lot, but Coach isn't ready to retire quite yet.
Well, I got a little goal, and it's at least 3 more years.
That means 3 more state titles and 36 more kisses. Scott Sahel, TV9 Sports.
Western Dubuque also won a state basketball title in 2001, so it's been quite a successful run for the Bobcats. Eastern Iowa is filled with interesting people and places. Our town Postville is home to a water ski team. Our town Sumner is home to a husband and wife dog training team. And there's great fishing along the Yellow River in northeast Iowa. We'll take a look at our town through special reports from TV9's John Campbell coming up next. Welcome back to this Our Town special. Our town's Postville and Monona are gateways to some of the best fishing streams in Iowa, and no one likes to spend more time wetting a line than lifelong Postville resident Bob Schrader. TV9's John Campbell tagged along on a recent foray to the great outdoors.
It's a beautiful area, it really is. A lot of clean water, a lot of cold streams.
Bob Schrader has been fishing the rivers and creeks of northeast Iowa ever since his dad got him into it as a youngster. Bob actually thinks the fishing is better now than then, thanks in part to the DNR.
I like the streams where they do the unannounced stocking. It gives everybody a little bit more of a chance, and I like the put and grow streams. There's an undercut bank there, and they usually lay under that bank, and we'll try and run a night crawler past them and see if we can get them to cooperate with us. And hopefully old Joe's at home, or old Josephine.
As it turned out, Bob knew exactly what he was talking about. A well-placed cast and a very slow retrieve paid big dividends.
Ooh. John.
That a good one?
Yeah.
He's running at you. At the other end of the line, a beautiful brown trout, which Bob played out carefully. Very carefully. Oh! Oh!
Nice?
Beautiful.
Okay, we're going to put him home. He's not bleeding. He's in good shape.
Bob Schrader enjoying and respecting the great outdoors near our town, Postville.
Bet you didn't know this. The Division II National Water Ski Team champions are from northeast Iowa, and many of the skiers hail from our town's Postville and Monona. TV9's John Campbell recently dropped by one of their practices on the Mississippi River.
The nucleus started in Postville, and that kind of stayed with us. It really has. You know, I'd say probably 60% of the members right in that area are from the Postville area.
My friends, I guess, were in it, and they talked about it a lot, and I thought it'd be kind of fun.
We do a lot of barefooting. We have barefooting throughout our show, 3 or 4 pyramids.
Scary. You don't know if you're going to fall forwards and hit all the skis or if you're going to make it.
Sometimes they don't make it. But it all came together for the Mississippi Blackhawks last year when they won the Division II Nationals.
That was a big accomplishment last year. A lot of people, last year we went down there and it was iffy if we were even going to go ski it. And then we went down and it just turned out great.
One of those days you dream about having, when out of all the 14 acts we took off, we only had one person end up in the water. Otherwise, everybody left us. And that's what we strive for, is to leave the dock and then return to the stage area without having any swimmers in between.
And when things do go well, the pyramid rises to the sky, and the Mississippi Blackhawks rule the river for at least a few seconds. For our town, Postville and Monona, I'm John Campbell, KCRG TV9 Sports.
If you would like to see the Mississippi Blackhawks perform, head to Prairie du Chien on Friday nights. Showtime is at 7. Even living in a small town like Sumner, chances are most folks don't know Buster, Sally, and Lucy. They do know the people who train them. John Campbell reports from our town, Sumner.
Brett, Robin, and Tiffany Greenfield have been into their dogs since 1998. As members of the Big Wapsie Hunting Retriever Club, they run their dogs and hunt tests all over the Midwest.
It's one of the few places you'll go where no matter if you're running or you're a spectator, everybody's cheering for the person's dog to pass.
Mm-hmm. They currently have 4 dogs, 5-year-old Sally, who has an HR title, 3-year-old Storm, 1-year-old Buster, and then there's the rookie, 4-month-old Lucy.
Doing a real good job. Like to always see them 4 months old being able to go out and start coming back. And by the time they're 7, we usually try to start running them, 7 to 8 months, start running them in the hunt test.
Brett and Robin not only train and handle dogs, they are also judges. 11-year-old Tiffany is also into the game.
I love to see her run him. I love to see any kid run a dog. They're just so at ease, and the dog does so excellent. And in order to keep the family going and have something to do as a family, you got to keep them in it.
Yes, training and handling dogs is not just for Dad, not just for Mom and Dad. It's a family affair for the Greenfields of our town, Sumner.
It's really great to see those dogs grow under the careful training of the Greenfields. We will complete our tour of Eastern Iowa with a story about diversity, camaraderie, and soccer when we come back. Welcome back to this Our Town special. In many countries outside the United States, soccer is the sport of choice. The same is true for many immigrants living in our town, Postville. In fact, organizers say the Postville Soccer League is close to World Cup quality.
On Friday nights during the summer, this football field becomes a soccer field. Next door, America's favorite pastime is in full swing. But in our town, Postville, another game is growing in popularity.
In Postville, we work together, you know, and so why not play together? And that's why we organized the league a couple of years ago.
These players speak many different languages, but soccer is the one language they have in common.
Soccer is in the minds and the hearts of the folks here, of the immigrants here of Postville, from Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Guatemala, Mexico, Salvador, all over the world. So I think those folks deserve our best efforts to serve them, so we decided to create the soccer leagues.
The league includes 150 players on 7 teams. It's supported by local sponsors and very enthusiastic fans.
In Postville, we're all about community bonding, neighborhood attachment, and the soccer league is a great example of how that's all coming together. When they play soccer, I think they feel a piece of their homeland with them, and they're proud to display what they're good at. They work all day, they work hard at the plants, and then to come out at night and play soccer, it's a lot of fun.
This is the first time an organized soccer team has played in Northeast Iowa, and organizers say it may take a while, but this kind of soccer is a good introduction.
This is World Cup soccer in Postville, Iowa. These guys are good. They're good at what they do, and they love what they do. They're playing from their hearts.
We hope you've learned how special our town is, from Postville's diversity to Monona's future plans and Sumner's successful businesses to Grinnell's achievements, as well as Farley's beautiful park to Epworth's dedication to education. Eastern Iowa is home to some of the best places on earth. Make sure you mark your calendar for some of these special upcoming events in our town. Postville's annual Ethnic Food Festival is called the Taste of Postville. This year it takes place on August 25th. Monona has their own celebration called German Fest on October 4th, 5th, and 6th. You can learn more about Monona's Freilich Foundation this fall. The annual Falderall celebration is September 28th and 29th. The biggest event at the Farley Speedway is the 25th annual Yankee Dirt Track Classic. Races take place every night at 7 o'clock from September 11th through the 14th. If you would like to see the Mississippi Blackhawks perform, head to Prairie du Chien on Friday night. Showtime is at 7. That wraps up Our Town 2002. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to join us again next summer for another tour of the most interesting people and places in Eastern Iowa. Have a great evening.